Community. A group of neighbors, local organizations and businesses from a given area, all sharing a common purpose, lifting up one another in good times and in bad. Nowhere in the country is the sense of community stronger than right here in Joplin, Missouri. On May 22, 2011, a deadly tornado plowed a mile-wide path through Joplin, destroying 7,000 homes, a full 25% of the city. It left a death toll of 160 and was the single most costly tornado in American history. How does a community recover and rebuild after this kind of tragedy? It takes strong, caring neighbors, relief organizations, government and businesses, all pulling together with a common purpose to bring healing and hope to a community that was wounded but not defeated. With that goal in mind, Bridgestone, Shell, Speedco, partnering with the Joplin community, organized a celebration of remembrance and hope they called All Roads Lead to Joplin. The event, which took place on May 17th through the 19th of 2012, included concerts, the Shell Super Rigs Truck Beauty Contest, the grand reopening of the Joplin Speedco, which was destroyed in the tornado, and a very special tree planting program commemorating those lost in the tragedy that took place a year earlier.
Having these 160 trees planted here in Cunningham Park resembles the lives that were lost. And so when many folks here in Joplin take their daily walk in the Cunningham Park, that gives them, I guess, a sense of things are going to move forward and there's going to be growth and it's going to be okay, and to see that love and that assistance from everyone to help plant the trees and help make this a new city again. So for Speedco and Bridgestone and Shell to have an event here, I think what that means for people is that they're not forgotten and they're still loved, and we still need to have some fun. So we're so excited that they're here having these fun events, and it brings back some joy to their life. So I think that gives them a sense of, people really do still care, and it helps them to move forward and have a little good time.
On May 22, 2011, Greg Kite, manager of the Joplin Speedco, got word that the tornado had shifted directions and was heading straight for his store. He quickly directed his employees and customers into the underground service pits. No one was injured, but the building was a total loss. A year later, Speedco is one of the leaders in the rebuilding and celebration in Joplin.
I hope today or this weekend, if it just touches one or two people and gives it some positive influence for a while over the storm we had a year ago, it's worth it. We want to raise their spirits, make them feel good about the community and the people in their community.
The Speedco team converged on Joplin to rebuild their store and join in the effort for All Roads Lead to Joplin.
Speedco, we call ourselves family because that's how we act. We act like a family. We're always there for each other, things like that. So as a company, we have that culture. And so to be able to share that within the community, I mean, we have the best teammates in the world that are just willing to give back and do whatever they need to take to give back to the community and to help out in areas that need it.
We've got a lot of our team members from across the country and from our local store that was blown down by the tornado. And we're just having a great time helping the city of Joplin rebuild. Yes, we are a fairly big corporation, from coast to coast, but we are local based. Our people are local. They each have their own community. So they feel like they can take ownership in it and be a part of their community through the corporation that they work for. It's very humbling to help people. I think we all love to help people. It makes you feel good. So it's a good thing for the company.
The wonderful thing, and I always feel a bit blessed to have the opportunity to work with Shell Rotella, because it means that I'm a part of the trucking community. Shell Rotella has been a member of that community for over 40 years as a leader, right? And when we talk about community, I was telling someone the other day, there are a lot of truckers, but it's a very small family, right? And I think that's where you see that alignment of values. At the end of the day, each one of these folks is a microcosm of America, right? They're all hardworking. They put in long hours. They got to deal with a lot of adversity in the course of their job, and they're the things that are keeping America moving, because if you went to the store today and bought bread, if you went to the Best Buy and bought a TV, it got there on the back of one of these trucks, right? So if you look at working with partners like Speedco, Bridgestone, Fleet Guard, does it seem like we have the same values? Well, we're all part of the same family, the trucking family. So absolutely, it's easy to work with them because we all understand how this works.
I think it's a wonderful thing because we need a release. The whole city of Joplin, including our volunteers, and when I say that, I include our volunteers as our city because we have had so many of them that have become like family to us. Opportunities like this where the concerts come to town and people can just go and relax. They can share stories or they can just not share stories. They can just say, this is a moment for myself. And we just want to capitalize that, and we just want to say, this is about me for this moment. And we encourage that, and we are overjoyed that people are allowing our citizens and our residents to be able to experience that.
One of the celebration's events was the official ribbon cutting and grand opening of the Joplin Speedco. On Friday, Speedco invited the whole community to lunch and grand opening ceremonies attended by the mayor and members of the Joplin Chamber of Commerce.
We have family right here in this community who work right here at this Speedco store that if they hadn't gotten into the pit on that day to get out of the tornado, they very well could have been injured. And a lot of people here were, and it's very sad. So this is our community, and we want to be a part of it, and we want to build back. And so everybody in the company has a vested interest in seeing this community rebuild.
Traditionally, we have done these at truck stops, but this year, when we talked about the opportunity to come out to Joplin, I'll tell you, the conversation around where are we going to host Super Rigs this year took all of about 1 minute. When we thought about where we should be, where we could make the most impact, Joplin was top of the list. I mean, it's a community that had been met with some severe challenges a year ago, and it was an opportunity for us not just to bring a competition out here, but to really help out with the community and do something back. If you look at Joplin in the world of trucking, it is a big trucking community as well. And Rotella Tea in the trucking community is a part of that. So it was just a perfect match for us.
Speedco was just one of the sponsoring companies for All Roads Lead to Joplin. Truck enthusiasts marveled at the tricked-out rigs that came from all over the country, competing for prizes in the Shell Super Rigs Truck Show, regarded as the Super Bowl of truck beauty contests. Now in its 30th year, this was the first time the show was held outside a traditional truck stop location.
It's really changed what I would call the vibe of Super Rigs, because traditionally, when you're in a parking lot, folks are in and out, they're in the truck stop, they're out of the truck stop, and the competition takes place, but you lack kind of the sense of what's going on today, which is community. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like being out at a community fair right now. We have a huge commitment to sustainability, working with the community, not just to, there are times when we can contribute in terms of money, and we're doing that through the All Roads Lead to Joplin Foundation here, and that's a right bit of it, but that's not all. We can do more, and that means engaging hand in hand with the community to help rebuild in instances like Joplin, to help develop people in areas where they need help in terms of education or opportunity. So for us as a company, absolutely, these are the types of things that make us feel like we're making a difference in the world.
Evenings were dedicated to great music. Among the headliners was Joplin native Kenny Foster. Chicago's Maggie Speaks also lit up the stage. And the crowd came alive with a special guest appearance by recording artist Chastity. Outdoor concerts and fireworks were sponsored by Bridgestone and were free to all. The second evening of the celebration started out with the big Super Rigs parade, followed by a light show and fireworks. All roads lead to Joplin, wrapped up with the selection of the winning Super Rigs. How does a community rebuild after such devastation? It takes an unflagging spirit and grateful business partners who are willing to give back.
It's akin to a story that I like to tell around starfish. A little girl walking on a beach, and the beach is filled with starfish that have washed up on shore. She begins to bend down and pick up starfish and throw them back in the ocean. A gentleman comes by who's jogging and tells the little girl, "Girl, what are you doing? Obviously, you're not going to be able to reach all these starfish. It just doesn't matter. Don't waste your time." And the little girl looks at the man, looks down at a starfish, picks up a starfish, throws it back in the ocean and says, "It mattered to that one," right? And that's the same view that we have to have. These types of things can seem overwhelming when a disaster hits like what hit Joplin a year ago. At the end of the day, one starfish at a time, one life at a time, rebuilding it. That's the only way we can get back.
Over the past several months, Speedco has donated $1 from every oil change performed at one of their 51 locations. And since March, Speedco has been accepting donations for Joplin YMCA outreach programs. As a finale to All Roads Lead to Joplin, the partners presented a check for $100,000 to the Joplin YMCA outreach programs. Plus, Super Rigs Best of Show winner John O'Keefe donated his $10,000 winnings to the program. Joplin's Mayor Melody Colbert-Keene expressed her gratitude on behalf of the community.
The City of Joplin would like to extend a heartfelt thank you to Bridgestone, to Speedco, to Shell for coming to Joplin in our time of need and for providing something for the citizens to be able to call their own, to have their moment to just say, thank you. We can just be ourselves for this moment. So we thank you for bringing that to Joplin.
No community should have to endure what Joplin has endured, but tragedies do happen. And the way that we as businesses and fellow Americans respond to the hardship of a community says a lot about us and our values. Every tree planted in Joplin is a show of faith that even in the most difficult of times, responsible businesses and caring people are there to lend a helping hand and play an essential role in a new beginning.